What's up, everybody? Mr. Zero to Infinity says hello for episode 62. Since it's been quite some time since my last episode, you're in for a treat. In this episode, I'll be reviewing a new stock called Skillz stock. Stock ticker SKLZ, which just completed its merger with Flying Eagle Acquisition Corp. Stock ticker FEAC. I'll explain 10 reasons why I bought Skillz stock as a long-term investment. To end this episode, as I always do, I'll provide a portfolio update for my Zero to Infinity stock portfolio. There was quite a few adjustments since the last episode. If you've been following along with the channel since the portfolio started at $0 back in episode 1, we've come a long way since then. Fiverr has been the biggest winner in the portfolio and has helped level up the portfolio from the $0 tier to $10,000 tier. Now we're on to the next investing tier, which is $10,000 to $20,000. I'll go over why I took some profits in specific stocks and discuss a few brief thoughts on my other new holding, Shopify stock, and the trend that I'll be looking to take advantage of. By now, you know the drill. If you're on a mission of growing your stock portfolio from zero to infinity, then make sure to click that like button, subscribe, and join the community in the comments below. There's plenty of room on the rocket ship. Before I get started, remember, all of my episodes are for entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and anything discussed on this YouTube channel should not be viewed as investment advice. I am only sharing my personal ideas and opinions as I document the journey of growing one of my stock portfolios from zero to infinity. Always do your own due diligence and never rely on my information when it comes to investing. So let's begin. Reason number 1 why I started building a position in Skillz stock. Here's my bull thesis. Number 1, Skillz is a leading marketplace platform that connects developer-made games with gamers looking to compete for cash and prizes on their mobile phone based on skill. I repeat once again, Skillz is a platform. It does not publish games, and based on my research, it has no plans to publish games at this time. The main reason is the conflict of interest. Skillz is looking to arm mobile game developers with the tools to succeed on the open marketplace and monetize their awesome games. The goal is to not compete with them. The goal is continuous mutual financial success for developers and Skillz. A unique way of helping developers is through a Skillz developer fund to help raise money to develop certain games. Up to this point, developer acquisition has been totally organic. Developers join the Skillz platform for game discovery and exposure, which is hard to find for any up-and-coming game developer with minimal resources. The Skillz platform makes it easy for developers to monetize their games. I like platform business models. If you've been following my Zero to Infinity stock portfolio, you already know the potential I saw with Fiverr.com's platform connecting freelancers with gig work all around the world. To sum up Skillz platform, a great comparison is the Shopify for small and indie mobile game developers around the world. Similar to what Shopify does for merchants and entrepreneurs looking to make money from e-commerce and selling items on their online shops, Skillz runs the business side for developers on its network, which includes handling the back end, including payments, analytics, customer services, live operations, and the list goes on. Whereas Shopify arms the rebels to compete with Amazon, Skillz arms the small indie developers to compete with the major publishers like Ubisoft and Activision Blizzard, to name two. In my opinion, platforms like Skillz have lifetime value, whereas publishing companies like Electronic Arts or Activision Blizzard are reliant on game success. I believe Skillz has a sustainable edge compared to game publishers. Games are always rotating with audience retention over the years. Next year's number one game may not be the same game that's dominating the charts today. A fun fact is that Skillz hasn't had a top 10 game on the App Store up to this point in time. Imagine what happens when they finally do. And for that reason, I'm bullish because the current forecasts in the prospectus didn't include new and upcoming hits. Reason number 2, founder-led CEO Andrew Paradise has a 100-year vision and growth plan. I like the fact that Paradise has skin in the game and has been building the competition layer for the internet since 2012. He owns 18% of Skillz. I also like the fact that he's been an avid gamer since a kid. I watched a video where he mentioned he was in the StarCraft Diamond League, which includes the top 2% of the best players. Payments is in Andrew's DNA, and he's been on record saying that people don't understand we're not just building a video game system as much as we're building a financial payment system that video games are sitting on top of. Before Skillz, he founded a Square competitor but didn't have enough capital to compete with Jack Dorsey. Casey Chafkin, the other Skillz co-founder, has mentioned Andrew Paradise is his role model because he believes Andrew is a visionary and a great leader. He's relentless and refuses to fail. I think it's important when building a position in any stock position, it's crucial to find a commander-in-chief that has a vision and is destined to achieve it. Andrew likes data analytics and tracks key statistics to grow the company long term. I've read that Andrew is determined to improve profitability in the developer community so studios of all sizes can flourish. Reason number 3, there is a big trend that's going on right now. Open up your eyes. Esports and mobile gaming is getting bigger and bigger by the minute. Games like Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, League of Legends, World of Warcraft, Apex Legends have built huge audiences over the last few years. There's been a lot of hype around Unity and the gaming space. Live tournaments around the world are getting bigger and bigger. The thing I really like is the fact that Skillz is esports for the 99%, whereas those big tournaments revolve around only the top 1% of professional gamers. Even Netflix has been on record saying they compete with and lose to Fortnite more than HBO. The gaming trend around the world is just getting started, and I believe Skillz platform business model is a fantastic investment vehicle to hop on the trend. I know all about influencer marketing, and I think it will only take one big-time gaming influencer on Twitch or YouTube to hype up Skillz as an awesome place to compete for money and prizes. The cultural perception of professional gamers is changing, and I think big money will eventually flow towards gaming investments in the coming years. Reason number 4, Skillz is a dominant brand taking advantage of the esports and mobile gaming trend that I'm seeing right now, and I believe will continue for years to come. When you have a leading brand like Skillz, more and more brands look to get in on the action and form partnerships. It's called a flywheel effect. The bigger you get, the easier it is to grow. Brand-sponsored tournaments have a much higher take rate due to the fact that outside brands outlay the money to fund the prize pools. Andrew Paradise has started to build out brand-sponsored tournaments. The 2 examples are Bolero, which has land-based bowling alleys and connects its audience to a mobile bowling game, and Tiffany's, yes, the same Tiffany's that has those expensive necklaces and bracelets. For Valentine's Day, Tiffany's upfronted a Tiffany's necklace to the winner of a Skillz-based mobile game tournament. The take rate on a Tiffany's branded tournament can exceed upwards of 90%. I want to point out that online gaming is a very social experience, and when there is a buzz around a certain game or a certain prize up for grabs, friends tell other friends, which can drive more and more traffic to Skillz platform, which can attract more game developers to create games. That's a strong network effect in my opinion. On to reason number 5. Skillz meets my investment goal because it has endless growth potential with a long runway to go. 90% of the total gross marketplace volume is currently from the United States. The international market is 4 times the size of the US market. For example, Andrew Paradise has mentioned that India is in the expansion plans for next year. India alone has 300 million smartphones, which is potentially worth 50% of the US market. New geographies, new types of games, new brand opportunities to partner. Andrew Paradise has mentioned Skillz is the competition layer for the internet. Imagine a Peloton bike tournament that connects riders to compete against each other. It's a blend of the physical world and the online world. Fitness and education are 2 segments Skillz will look to enter in the coming years. Chess is a top skill-based game in India. Have you watched Queen's Gambit? Well, Skillz has the potential to host the biggest chess tournaments around the world. Have you seen Skillz' recent job posting? The description reads, Skillz is looking to use hardware to enhance the competitive gaming experience. Compete in virtual marathons with runners around the world wearing a Skillz band. Face off against cyclists in your neighborhood using a Skillz pedometer that measures your wattage and compares it to users worldwide. Build a new mobile controller for AAA mobile competitive gaming. Sometimes it's hard to predict the future, but I believe there are unlimited possibilities for Skillz to take advantage of. I believe there's definitely a way to blend physical events with virtual events. On to reason number 6. Skillz has a head start over any competitors looking to enter the mobile gaming market. That head start includes a user base already trusting Skillz as a reliable brand with an infrastructure that already runs millions of tournaments per day, which would be very hard for competitors to replicate. Skillz has disclosed they have quite a few esports-related patents as well. Based on my research, huge companies like Amazon and Sony have tried to replicate Skillz' platform, but they learned quickly that having a lot of money to throw towards building a platform doesn't necessarily result in success. The main reason competitors fail to compete is because it is very difficult to display trust for gamers to transact hundreds of times. For this reason, Skillz is more like a payment business. Andrew Paradise and the Skillz team has been developing the Skillz platform since 2012. The merger valued Skillz as a $3.5 billion company. Since the stock price has almost doubled already, over $20, Skillz has the potential to gain a bigger and bigger lead over anyone looking to enter the market. The best competitor I found researching the industry is the Mobile Premier League, which is based in India. It's currently India's largest mobile gaming and esports platform with over 60 million users in India with 40 plus games, and it was valued around $375 million to $400 million when it raised $90 million back in September of 2020. For this reason, I can see why the Skillz team is looking to enter the Indian market. I'm sure Skillz is watching the opportunity there in India and is looking forward to taking market share and deploying the $250 million cash that was raised during the merger. Smart deployment of capital is stronger now than ever for Skillz. I believe Skillz has a clear competitive advantage since it's the market leader in the United States. As the market leader, it is much more easier to expand and connect the world to the Skillz platform. We're coming along. Reason number 7. Skillz is on top of innovation. Skillz has earned recognition as one of the Fast Company's most innovative companies, a 2-time winner of CNBC's Disruptor 50 list, and the number 1 fastest growing company in America on the Inc. 5000. It's disrupting the old school gaming monetization model, which focuses on advertisements and in-game purchases. The new wave of gamers want to compete for money and prizes, and Skillz is a one-of-a-kind marketplace and payment processor business model that controls the mobile esports market share in the United States. Now that the company is currently being traded as ticker SKLZ, there's plenty of cash for the merger to put to work and to continue to build upon the platform. Andrew Paradise is on a mission to disrupt the esports industry with a powerful business plan. Andrew has mentioned that data science is Skillz' secret sauce, which includes running algorithms and machine learning on the back end of the Skillz platform. Skillz has a software development kit with more than 200 features, highly sophisticated data analytics that power player ratings, matchmaking, anti-cheat, anti-fraud, and integrated payments. Years of player data has created anti-cheat software equivalent to antivirus software. Skillz has highlighted that live operations is really the heart of the Skillz system. A typical game maker at scale will have around 30 people running live operations for a single game. By using machine learning combined with artificial intelligence, Skillz is running the live operations for thousands of games on its platform with much less people. It's pretty neat that Skillz even mentioned that they can detect how likely it is you handed your phone over to someone else. Next up, number 8, Skillz and Andrew Paradise is focusing on the mobile gaming market right now, which is a faster growing market compared to PC and console. I've read that mobile accounted for 60% of all gaming consumer spend. Think about it. More and more people around the world have smartphones in their pockets compared to expensive hardware and equipment like PCs, Xboxes, and PlayStations. 40% of the world's population currently owns a smartphone. Skillz' focus is mobile gaming first, and then it can eventually work upstream, extending its reach even further into the hardcore end of the spectrum like PC and console gaming when the opportunity presents itself. Keep this in mind. Mobile users don't need expensive and powerful hardware to play games on Skillz' platform. All mobile users need is a reliable internet connection. I found it interesting that the top 10 mobile esports athletes' earnings exceeded $29 million in 2019, with the number one esports athlete making $3.9 million. Skillz allows anyone to become the next best esports athlete and make money. Just keep in mind, only the best of the best are actually capable of making money on the platform. We're nearing the end. Number 9, Skillz is currently a high profit margin business, growing revenues quickly and has a highly scalable business model. It's reported 95% margins. Skillz could be profitable today, but the management team is strategically reinvesting to grow the business. Since Skillz is a technology platform, there's no major costs associated with running a live tournament event online. That's not to say I wouldn't be shocked if Skillz eventually runs live events sometime in the future. I've read that the payback period for an end user acquisition is just 4 months. Only having 2.6 million active users shows how much more room Skillz has to grow. Since there's around 203 million gamers in the United States, Skillz has only 1.5% of the US market share. And keep this in mind, 10% of monthly active users are paying users. That may seem low, but that 10% is in line with some of the best games in the world where users pay for the in-game purchases and virtual goods. And something else to note, 90% of Skillz revenue comes from North America. Also, since Skillz is a platform, it doesn't depend on the success of game titles, which are constantly rotating each year. And last but not least, number 10, Skillz' untapped potential with new games hitting the platform. Right now, if you review the catalog of games on Skillz, there really aren't top-tier games that gamers recognize as a hit game. The current catalog includes games for casual gamers rather than hardcore and mid-core gaming genres, which draw a larger viewing audience. Money-generating games include casual games like Solitaire and Bingo. For that reason, if Skillz is expected to generate $225 million in revenues for 2020 with unknown games, imagine bringing in a higher quality game. One big hit game can generate massive revenue by drawing in a huge global audience. The Skillz platform has already been built, so more brand exposure and recognition will eventually draw in bigger titles and bigger game developers. Skillz allows any up-and-coming small game developer to create the next hit game and become the next big gaming studio. Skillz is a network of exposure for developers to be found similar to what YouTube did for unknown talents like Justin Bieber, for example. When it comes to investing my money, I try my best to focus on a company's future story rather than today's story. I think there's potential for games on Skillz to have massive followings. These successful games need to be entertaining to watch as a spectator. Examples are first-person shooter games, real-time strategy games, fighting games, games that have a cinematic quality to the action. With 5G rolling out, I think higher connection speeds will allow up-and-coming developers to create games that you and I expect to be popular games on the esports scene. To recap my bull thesis on Skillz, as an investor, I'm not focused on what Skillz has done in the past. I'm focused on what Skillz can become over the next few years. Based on my research, there are no other publicly traded companies that come close to Skillz platform. Now that Skillz is a publicly traded company, I think the sky is the limit. Skillz now has a cash account to pursue growth drivers to continue to dominate the addressable market, which includes mobile gamers and developers around the world. Looking at my 0 to infinity stock portfolio, I've been building a long position in FEAC, which has changed to SKLZ over the last couple of weeks. My cost basis is $12.04, which at $10 per share values the company at $3.5 billion. Did I like the valuation closer to $3.5 billion compared to almost double at $7 billion? Of course, but as I expected, there is extreme volatility when it comes to SPACs or special purpose acquisition corporations that merge with companies looking to hit the stock exchange. Since I have a long-term bull thesis, I'm in no rush to build my position in Skillz. The lower the price I can get, the better. I'll continue to monitor the earnings reports each quarter, and I plan on continuing to add to my position over time as I have done with all of my holdings in the past. The key things I'll be following with Skillz outside the financials are expansion plans internationally, new brand sponsorships, new and trending games, and the growth numbers associated with the active monthly user count. If you've been following each portfolio update, which I provide at the end of each episode, you'll notice I finally sold some shares of stock and took some profits, even though I have a long bull thesis in all of my holdings at this time. The 3 stocks I took profits from are Fiverr, Penn National Gaming, and Apple. In my last episode, episode 61, I had 44 shares of Fiverr, and now I have adjusted my position to 25 shares. I had 47 shares of Penn National Gaming, and now I have 14 shares. Lastly, I had 20 shares of Apple, and now I have 9 shares. The additions to my portfolio since last episode include 55 shares of Skillz stock, SKLZ, 1 share of Shopify stock, ticker SHOP, and I also added 1 more share of Spotify stock, ticker SPOT. I now have 10 positions in the stock portfolio. So why did I finally take some profits? Well, there are quite a few reasons, but I'll mention the main reasons now. First, since this is one of my stock portfolios that I've been documenting since it started at $0, I have my own personal investment goals and strategies when it comes to investing. Now that the portfolio has broke 5 figures or $10,000, portfolio diversification has come into play. Since there was a huge run-up in two of my biggest holdings, Fiverr and Penn National Gaming, I took some profits so I could buy two new positions in Skillz and Shopify and increase the cash I have on the sidelines, ready to put to work when I see an opportunity to increase my stock positions as time ticks forward. At the time I took this screenshot, my Fiverr position is still a good portion of my portfolio, exceeding over 36%, while my other 9 positions are around 9%, give or take, of the portfolio or lower. I have currently structured my portfolio that matches my goal of increasing upside and reducing my downside risk. If you've been following the overall stock market in real time, you know that the S&P 500 has been setting record highs since the market crash back in March. If you've been following along with the episode series, you know that I look at the technicals of all of my stock holdings very closely when I look to buy more shares of stock. Well, the technicals are at 52-week highs for the majority of my stock holdings, which is why I prefer to take some profits as we head into the new year of 2021. I still have a long-term bull thesis for all of my holdings, but my portfolio allocation strategy is to make sure that my highest conviction stocks are a higher percentage of my portfolio. To do that in real time, I had to make some necessary adjustments. If you follow along with my future episodes, you'll see where I'll be deploying more cash during the ups and downs of the stock market. My goal is to always increase my lifetime rate of return that matches up with my unique risk tolerance. To wrap up, as mentioned, my other new holding in my 0 to infinity stock portfolio is Shopify. I'll provide a more in-depth bull thesis in the coming episodes, but for now, I'll be brief and to the point. As mentioned earlier in this episode, I like Skillz because it's similar to Shopify in many ways with its platform business model. You know, I like investing in long-term trends, and I believe Shopify is the perfect company to invest in and take advantage of the online e-commerce trend that's being accelerated this year. Shopify is defining the future of e-commerce before our eyes. Shopify has a subscription business model, but it has been expanding on its merchant solutions revenue, which includes payments, fulfillment, and much more. Amazon built the internet's railroad, and Shopify has been building the internet's highway. There's lots to talk about with Shopify, so be on the lookout for future episode. Let's end it there. Play the music. If you made it this far into the episode, then make sure to subscribe and click that like button to support the channel. It helps immensely with the YouTube algorithm. Feel free to watch my earlier episodes of how I'm growing one of my stock portfolios from 0 to infinity. One of my favorite comments from last episode is on your screen. All of my episodes are meant to be watched in order since the stock market is always changing and there are always new trends to be found as the weeks tick forward. If you have a question that you'd like me to feature in a future episode, feel free to email Mr.0toInfinityQuestions@gmail.com or hit me up on Instagram, Mr.0toInfinity. Thanks again for watching. Let's keep building from 0 to infinity. You got this. Disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and anything discussed on this YouTube channel should not be viewed as investment advice. All ideas and opinions presented in this episode are mine and mine alone. You should never take any of this information as guidance for buying or selling any type of investment or security. Always do your own research prior to making any investments. Do not assume any facts and numbers in this video are accurate. Read the disclaimer on your screen fully. Peace.